Okay. Hi, Rihanna. Thank you. So, right, we'll get into the slide. Okay. So this is the topic for today, typography. So kecohnya typography. Why is kecoh? Because yeah, everything we do, every communication, either visual or writing, we will have typography. Even though if we notice or not, you can see that you are doing something. So this session, I like you to explore. We're doing some groundwork for Webex. If you can see annotation at the top of your screen, that scribble annotate, just say yes or say you can. If you don't want to say something, you can type in Y or type in yes. I can see it. Alright, so Irda dapat dah. So right now for starting this session, I want you to use your annotate, and then you can see the two box. Write with pen tool your name, and then the next one with type with text to your superpower. So go into the annotate, click the annotate, and I will click approve, and you will get the permission to do the annotation. So okay, so we got people coming in to do this activity. Okay, firstly, in this left box, if you can see here, write down your name. Write down your name with the pen tool. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So on the left box, you write down your name, but make sure you use the pen tool. And then the left box, type down your superpower. Superpower means that what's your background lah, your occupation ke, and maybe you have a skill set that you.
How do I type?
How do okay, if you want to type, you can see at the left side of the annotate, you can see T.
Oh, okay.
T is for typing, so you click T. So for typing, you go on your superpower. For writing with the pen tool, you write your name. Visibility. Okay. So for annotate, you just click annotate and I will approve. Okay. You can use any color, if for pen tool, you can use any color you want. It's okay. Doesn't matter. For nama Rihanna tu kan, you have to use your pen tool. And then for the next box, you write your superpower. Superpower doesn't mean like what you like to do. What are you good at? Cooking or something, and
Yes, tahu lah.
for chatting or sales or marketing, I don't know. Your occupation boleh, anything you want to share. Sleeping pun boleh.
Sleeping for 24 hours. Come on, guys.
Okay. So I want you to vlogging, cool. Sleeping. I like sleeping too. Decorating is nice. Okay. Now I think is everybody done? So if you guys are done, I want you to look at this your drawing or your writing or your typing. You can see letters, you can see text, you can see words, you can see um, uh, words that form something that make us emotional, make us gelak ke emotion tadi kan. So what does this mean? This is part of typography. Okay. So the pen tool tadi is handwriting. Kalau in typography, the term the terminology in learning typography, when you do your lettering with your hand or your pen, freestyling or something like that, we call that handwriting. And then for typing, if you do typing on the computer, or last time, once upon a time, we have a typewriter, you have typewriter, or in your handphone, mobile phone, that's called the letters in there is called typeface or font. Normally, people will call it font, but if you're in typography or learning what is typography, most of the designer will call it typeface. All right, so we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so since I've mentioned what is typography, what is the difference kan tadi. So what do you think typography is in your life? What is typography right now? Even though I've mentioned tadi kan, tapi what do you think typography really is? You can type, you can write. There's no right or wrong. You just share your thoughts about typeface. What do you think typeface font is? Okay. I'll share some song for you guys to want to feel. Graphic in design. Font design. Okay, thank you. Ada orang lain nak share tak their thoughts about typeface and font? Oh, Ida lost the page. Okay. So Ida, we're on the second page. Can you see the second page?
Cannot.
Oh, okay. Do you see the second page that says what do you think typeface/font is?
Boleh. Ada tekan.
Oh, okay, alright.
Okay, sekejap. There's your photo and then there's something blank.
Yes. So the instruction is what do you think typeface/font is?
But I don't see anything.
Oh, sekarang dah tak ada apa-apa eh. Do you see people writing on it?
Tak nampak.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's okay. We just finished this session. Okay, somebody is writing. Want to write something? So okay. So we got several writing here. Decorative words, a design of a font, font design, font style, jenis font, types of font, and lastly, graphy is designed for the world. Okay. Thank you for your answers. Those are very menarik thoughts. Thank you. All of it are correct. So typeface and font. Boleh nampak lagi tak? So the objective boleh nampak the next slide pula. Boleh nampak slide? Okay, learning objectives for today will be one, able to identify what is typography, and number two, analyze a design using typography terms. Probably number three, if we have the time, you will use the typography terms to design your own Instagram post lah, insyaAllah. So, okay, these are two sets of font style. One is Garamond and number two is Garamond Bold. So these two are the same font, but the differences between these two fonts is that one is a typeface, the other one is font. Okay, how do we know why is that typeface and why is it font different? Actually, both are the same, but in the design world, it can be used interchangeably in terms of when somebody is designing the font. Somebody had mentioned design typeface. Okay, when somebody is designing a typeface, they will start by letters dulu. They will start by A, B, C, D, E, F sampai Z. So those are typefaces lah. A is a type, but when A sampai Z, when somebody designing these letters, it will become like a set of typeface. But if they design the typefaces in bold, it will become a font. It become a family. They become a family of font. So for example, if you can see, if kita kan selalu typing dekat komputer ke Microsoft Word, when you, for example, Times New Roman is the basic fonts yang kita selalu guna. You can see Times New Roman bold, Times New Roman italic lah, also all those different things means that those are font of Times New Roman. But once upon a time, back in the zaman-zaman dulu, I think font type Times New Roman it's been designed for a long time, I think 1800s. A person designed that it started with the typeface dulu, then it become a font on our computer. Okay, so that's the difference between typeface and font lah. All right, so what is typography? Typography is an art that makes language visible. So for example, right, when I'm talking, kalau I marah, I can say angry words. You can feel that I'm angry, kan? But if I'm sad or whatever, you can feel my emotion through my voice, my communication. That's verbal communication. But typography is more on the visible part. So typography is to express the communication through letters, through words. So if you can see all these letters in your computer kan, actually they portray emotions. It's just that sometimes kita letak di tepi and then kita tak perasan that actually there. So of course, communication have been with us for a long time, since cave painting, ancient hieroglyphs, medieval ages and zaman sekarang.
Tak dengar suara.
You tak dengar suara ke? Siapa tak dengar lagi suara?
I dengar, okay je.
Oh, okay. Hello. So, going back to this session, talking about digital technology, just like we're in what do you call that? Industrial 4.0 kan. So typography or letterings or communication, it evolves juga into this digital industrial revolution that we are talking about. So when you look at digital typography, this is the zaman sekarang of typography lah. Back then we have medieval age where people buat cetak, guna letters. So when you come, we can see that we come a long way from writing on cave walls into now we are on digital canvas, and the neat type of setting does not result in aesthetic appeal but reduce void between man and machine lah. So even though we are in the digital world, we still have typography to express our emotion. So you can see this is a letter. This letter is called Georgia. Masih tak dengar. So the Georgia punya font, Georgia letter has been designed by someone once upon a time. And that is the, so if you can see G is a form of typeface. But when it's in the computer, it becomes a font. And then the difference between the typeface, now you can see serif and sans serif, Times New Roman. So for example, we use Times New Roman. What is serif? Serif is letters with footing at the bottom and at the top of the lettering. So it looks more traditional lah. Sans serif, dia tak ada footing, dia hilang. So it looks, if you use Arial is more sans serif punya letters lah. And serif, Times New Roman, Georgia, all those things are serif fonts. Next, I'm going to introduce you to 4 more terms in typography, which is leading. Leading is part of typography punya terms where you susun your paragraph together. So what is leading? The space in between lines of the text. So you can see here, leading dia ketat the terms refer to the lead insert in between the line. So you can see here typography. Yang ini dia terlampau rapat, yang ni normal selalu kita guna, and then this one the lead in the paragraph dia jarak-jarak. Selalu kalau in Microsoft Word double spacing kan. So why leading means, because once upon a time in the Industrial Revolution, people do cetak printing using lead, literally lead. So this is how it looks like. This is lead. So they put the lead side by side and make a 1 A3 ke A4 ke whatever. If it's a newspaper, then it's the size of a newspaper, a book, and so forth. So, and then they actually have a lead in between here to make the paragraph. So this is some example. So in design, if you use typography punya terms, if you heard of good design, bad design, what is that? So good design is that you can see it's readable and legible. Legible maksudnya even though the font is a certain size, it's still clear and we can still read it. So normally good design will have a nice spacing in between, nice leading, spacing. Bad bukannya sampai masuk penjara punya bad lah, means that the legibility and readability tu susah nak baca. Sometimes when we read something, kita akan rasa rimas, means that maybe the organisation of the letters, paragraphs or the typography tak susun kemas. And then this one is probably terlampau ni lah. So this is what leading means, a space between the paragraph. Kerning pula. Kerning is the spacing between letters. So kita ada A, B, C, D, E. So when you have A, the letter A and the letter B, the space between the letter A and B is called kerning. Ataupun it's a concept of letter spacing lah, but in the design world, people will say, can you kern the letter properly? Because some designer will kern badly. Okay, there are bad design. So kerning, spacing in between individual letters and words in a single line of text. So you can see here, when you type, automatically the designer will organize the kerning for a certain font that if you use on your computer. But in the design world, they have a certain software where you can measure your own kerning. So you nak nipiskan sini ke, nak lebar ke sana ke, suka hati you lah. Designer tu akan boleh buat. So normally the software that you can do that is in Adobe software lah. Apparently free software ada limitation. So these are example of kerning. So I'm using logo design as an example. You can see Zara. If you know what Zara branding, Zara is a fashion brand. So in 2011, Zara used logo type. So logo type is a jenis logo where they use typeface. They use typography punya ni lah. But what they did is just do a kerning. So you can see here, now you understand what kerning is. This is the kern is maybe the spacing lebar. Oops, sorry. But in 2019, which is last 2 years, Zara did a rebranding of their logo, and they still play with the kerning, and they squish everything together. There's no kern at all. If you look at here lah. Oh yeah, sorry, I keep changing the. If you can see my cursor. And then somebody made a joke in maybe into 2027, somebody a smart designer probably will look at Zara punya logo. Okay, why not no more kern? Dia jadi macam tu saja. But I'm not sure. It probably can become like that, but just a joke in the design world. So next, I'm going to introduce you ligature. Okay, what is ligature? Ligature is binding two letters tightly. It's not just two letters, like it can be 3 letters juga. So, but normally in book, if you pernah beli buku yang made in London, but it's like in the 60s, buku yang lama-lama, if you look at it closely, yang cetak punya, yang lama punya, if you ada, there are ada kerning dekat situ. Ada ligature, ada ligature. Means that the letters they're connected to each other. For example, these are the letters lah, TH, FI, FL semua. The purpose of doing ligature is to make the paragraph look sit together nicely. The purpose is readability and legibility juga. So it's for book, for magazine, for poster, for anything lah. But in the digital world, it's for the computer screen, website design, apps and whatnot. But you can see there's a difference between people using typography in there. And ligature boleh guna in typeface, logo type juga. Means that if you can see here, is a overlapping letters together. So it's form of ligature, but if it's overlap in logo design pula, because I'm not teaching logo design, but I'll just share a little bit. In logo design pula, if it's overlap like that, we will call that monogram. So that's a form of logo design lah. But if you guys interested, I can share logo monogram in a different session. But right now, in typography, we call that ligature. So kalau in logo design pula kan, you can see Coco Chanel ke apa ke kan, those fashion high-end logos, high-end fashion or whatnot. They will just use simple text, simple typeface design, but the style, the concept that they use is probably just ligature ke, or kerning. So this is part of it lah. You can see. And then if somebody wants to do their own logo, you can use ligature. For example, if your name is Irda kan, or I don't know, Fatimah Fairuz Irda or something like that. You can use that as your logo, maybe lah. But this is part of the terms in typography in the design world. So next is glyph. Glyph, actually a lot of people use this, but we never notice it is called glyph. In the typeface, making typeface, we will design each letters macam A, B, C, D, E, F into a glyph. Once the letters is designed, they will place that into a glyph. Glyph ni macam dalam satu box macam ni. Di dalam kotak-kotak. Kalau dalam handphone kan, bila you nampak ada kotak-kotak ABC, actually that is glyph. And then kalau kita tekan lama-lama, dia ada keluar A lain. Macam contohnya A, lepas tu ada titik ke atas, and then A ada what you call that? Ada stroke ke atas. So for example like this lah. This is all called glyphs. Kita memang dah guna dah benda ni semua. Tapi it's just that we never notice the typography terms. It's just that how to say it? When in the design world, if it's good design, we never notice it. So it's macam tu lah. So glyph comes from the word hieroglyph in the ancient zaman kuno dulu, bila orang-orang zaman tu dia buat ukiran dekat batu-batu. So those are hieroglyphs. Those are hieroglyphs where this is how it evolves lah. So next, now I want you to have some fun, and from the concept, from the terms that I've shared with you, you can see the poster here, and then the instruction will be what typography term used to design this poster. So you can turn on your mic, and if you want to voice out something, you just say something. You can type in your ni. Okay, Rihanna say kerning. Anybody wants to voice say something? What do you think about kerning? Okay. What else do they use in this poster?
Leading.
Yes, true. What do you feel when you look at this poster?
Semak.
Semak kan? So
Rasa sangat.
tak rasa sangat. So ada rasa ni tak? Semak is rimas kan?
Rabut. Pening.
Serabut rimas. So actually when you look at the sentence here kan, is this what your current office space feels like? So it's whatever you feel tadi. Semak, rimas, serabut. So this poster memang purposely designed to do that to the viewer. They just use simple typography terms such as leading, kerning, and maybe a little bit of ligature. Ligature tadi letters yang connected to each other. Maybe a little bit of that. They purposely do that to make people feel semak. Okay. Next, I'm going to show this poster. All right. So I want you to look at this poster and then tell me what's wrong with this design and what typography terms used to design this poster. Okay, first, what's wrong with this poster?
The letter E and R.
Okay, correct. I know people macam tak nak cakap lah that word kan, but it's misleading, correct? It's misleading. But and then anything else? Misleading the letter. Okay.
Saya rasa takut nak pergi massage kat situ.
Kan? Takut kan? Okay. So, what typography kids scary? Betul? Betul ke ni massage therapist? So, what typography terms used to design this poster? Or if I already explained to you the typography punya terms, you can use the lens, typography lens. What can you do to improve? Okay, somebody say kerning. Okay, correct. So you dah tahu dah. Yay. So thank you. So you understand what is kerning. So you use kerning to improve this design. Next is a different one. Okay, the same thing. Use your typography lens, and then I want you to say you look at it, and then what's wrong with this design?
So wrong.
Beep.
Yeah. Okay.
God.
Very wrong. But this is it's not in Malaysia. I think it's overseas. It's already printed. You can see it. Everywhere we go in communication, everywhere is typography. It's all typography, but we never notice it's typography because you tend to take advantage of it because it's there. It's always there. Okay. So, what typography terms used in this poster, and how, if you use your typography lens study, how can you improve this? So one is what did they use? Kerning lagi? Ligature, yes, Azura, betul. Ligature and kerning. Correct, thank you. Tapi everybody did correct juga because most of you say kerning, memang kerning because probably the designer they use too much of their design superpower and then they fikir, oh, I'm going to kern this because the spacing for this billboard kecil is too small and I want to make it big kan. And then they kern the letters too tight and then it becomes that ligature. LI. LI tu jadi a letter but it actually is not. So become a different meaning. So we're not going to say that meaning lah. Alright. Okay, thank you everyone. You did you understand that well. So this one, I want you to turn on your mic. I want you to turn on your mic and then look at this image. Discuss the image. How can you improve the design using typography? So I've given you the typography lens study, which is ligature, leading, kerning, and glyphs. So you can see font, typeface, leading, kerning, ligature, and glyphs. You as a professional designer sekarang ni, a designer that understand the typography terms, what can you improve? Discuss this image. What do you see? What can you improve? And others.
Maybe don't use maybe use a sans serif font instead.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? You can just turn on your mic.
What is glyph tadi? Sekejap,
Um,
Google balik.
Glyph is
Oh,
the letters.
the hieroglyph
letters
tadi.
in-
Okay.
Yeah, it's the letters in the boxes too. Use P graphic. Oh, okay. So means that use an image lah. But okay, thank you. Anybody else want to share and discuss? So Azura say use sans serif. Another person say use P as in a graphic P rather than a letter P. Right. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think the font.
The font kan? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So one is font, change the font. And you want to use any terms yang I've dah shared on the left side, typeface. So we say font, change the font to sans serif. Anything else?
Maybe the kerning of the word maternity redefined tu boleh dirapatkan.
All right. Okay.
Leading jarak between two sentence tu should lagi jarak, tambah jarak.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing your thoughts and have some ideas of this discussion. So, what does does this say?
A pea in the pot.
Okay,
But
thank
a pea
you.
in the
Oh,
pool.
Okay, but I did
Yeah.
yesterday. I did this. Somebody read it. Memang pun somebody read it. A pee in the pool. Betul.
A pee in the pool. Looks like a pee in the pool.
Why do you want to have a pee in the pool? But actually, it's pot because yang kat atas ni, this is actually D. I don't know why the designer does this. I think they think that this is genius kot. Kern the letters rapat-rapat so you can have it in one box. Don't do that. The ultimate thing when we use this typography terms, remember readability and legibility. Readability tu maksudnya when we design something, we uh, go step back and then look at it. Is it readable? Legible means that kita nampak terus faham. If the visual ataupun the text tu terus nampak and faham lah. So thank you. All of your information input is amazing. So next is how to choose the right fonts for your designs. So when somebody is designing, there's different kind of fonts. There's font yang macam ni, ada yang lebar, ada yang halus, ada yang fancy, ada yang like nampak traditional and stuff. So how do you choose these fonts? As I mentioned in the beginning, fonts ataupun typography portray emotions. So kita kena start with the emotion now. So if the design, you have the concept, what kind of emotion you want to show the viewer? So look into the emotion dulu lah. I'm not going to show that video because I'm having problem here. Boleh dengar tak audio if I play this? Can you hear the audio? Anybody? If you can hear, just say yes. Or if you cannot hear, say no.
Shall I play? Boleh lah.
Boleh?
Tengah typing.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm just gonna play this.
Okay. Dia macam terputus.
Oh, Okay. Tadi audio dia ada problem ke for some people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically this video was talking about the history of typography. Oh, ada somebody message something. Okay, I can share the link for this video later. I'll share it to Azura later. All right, thank you for asking. So this video actually is talking about the history of typography, the birth of the first letter from black letter. Black letter tu is if we look at in our history kan, zaman religion dulu kan ada keluar Bible and so forth. When they started the Bible, the letters inside the Bible is called black letter. Johannesburg is the person that designed the lettering lah. So from there and evolve sampai sekarang, people like to use the font Helvetica. Helvetica actually, even though some people yang baru notice Helvetica feels that it's new and modern, but actually Helvetica started in 1952. It's already old dah sebenarnya. Zaman sekarang, future or people call it digital typography where people will design their font on the spot, on the computer straight. So that's typography will evolve. The technology evolve, kita pun evolve. Communication evolve, typography, lettering semua akan evolve juga. It will follow the time lah. So next, I want to share with you the classification tadi. So they were talking about classification lah, slab sheriff, all those things. So these are how it looks like lah. So sometimes kan when we design something, oh aku nak guna font apa lah, guna font ni ke nak guna font tu lah, feeling ni ke feeling tu. Feeling elegant macam mana font tu font ni. But now I'm sharing with you the terms. So you can recall back, oh if I want to elegant, the terms in typography actually is called script. Or serif actually falls under more to classic lah. So all these feelings or emotion just like kita punya brothers or siblings kan, ataupun dalam kita punya family, ayah kita maybe it looks more bold, and then kakak more dramatic, and then adik kecil itu maybe for informal, and then ada abang ke kakak lagi seorang very modern punya character. So these are behavior or the emotions of typography lah that is around right now, and it has been categorized. So when somebody, a designer want to design something, dia terus tengok, okay, this poster is for masculine kind of poster. So what kind of masculine font kita nak guna? Maybe bold lah. Bold is under slab serif punya category. There's a lot of slab serif punya fonts out there. So if you want, you can take a look at that. And all the other things lah, you boleh tengok. So these are the classification tadi lah, based on the video. And now I'm sharing with you the names of the font pula. So I just share sikit saja, not all, because there's a lot, millions and millions. Like if there's billions and trillions of people, I think there's trillions of fonts out there. So in here, I'll just share serif, sans serif, script, and display font. Serif is typical lah. We all use Times New Roman, and then there are other things, other fonts juga. Names of the font we use, and these are the names. Baskerville is kind of the favorite in the designer, especially print design punya world lah. It's more calm and readable. Bila kita baca, when you use Baskerville punya font, is easy on the eye. It's the legible tu easy lah. Sans serif is like I said, mention tadi, sans serif dia tak ada kaki dia tak ada di stroke. Like serif ada stroke, sans serif all the fonts tak ada stroke. Helvetica is very famous, Avenir, Open Cells, Railway, Proxima Nova, and so forth. You boleh cari. But if you don't remember this one, tak apa, you don't need to remember. You just look at the font. Kalau dia tak ada kaki, that's sans serif lah. Script is the type of font yang everybody tahu lah kot kan. It's the calligraphy type and lettering punya feeling. Dia macam ni lah. If you don't remember the name of the font, you just look at it, you know, okay, I want that hand lettering punya style, so cari font yang script. Display is decorative novelty, macam you want to have an event yang macam ada retro ke apa ke. I think display punya terms font is good lah. Maybe we can look into it lah. So display ada different kind of mood. You can have Modesto. Modesto is a club last time. So these are the names of the classification in font pula. Next is, okay, from the I want to have some socialized energetic activity with you guys right now. So from the start that I've shared with you the typography terms, and I've given you this lens of typography where you can look outside the world with this typography lens. Write down the benefits of typography that you can use for your future design. So I'll play a song so you can listen to this song and just write any benefit that you can think of. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Attract people. Yes. All right, I think so. All right, thank you for sharing. Yes, it's not a very. So the song that I just played is from Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. But actually, you are writing something. So okay, let's share our thoughts on this benefit to express emotions, to make people read, and to make people feel. Okay, betul. Express your emotion. Yes, when you read something, you can use typography to express the emotion from the letters, the things that you read, to draw attention. Draw attention tu maybe in marketing boleh guna juga kan, because when we are selling a product or service or event or business, we can use typography to draw people's attention to those products. Branding, of course, yes, macam personal branding for our own logo ke, ataupun any kind of branding for our product or service, to invoke emotions such as to influence people. Yes, definitely we can influence. Just like the image yang I showed you just now, either we influence in a good way or we influence in a negative way. So we have to be careful juga lah when we design something, and then if we terlampau shock with the kerning, tiba-tiba the message that we are portraying jadi something else. So kena be careful juga lah. Okay, to show significance, yes, to attract people, to emphasize on certain word or thing. Yes, thank you very much for your sharing. All right, so I'll just turn off this annotate and I'll go to the next slide. Oops. Okay, it's playing again. Oops, sorry. Okay, this is the next slide. Kejap ya. Okay, now arrange the typeface for your design. If you have Canva, we're going to do an activity betul-betul lah sekarang ni. If you have a Canva on another computer ke, on your handphone ke, you can turn that on and then we'll do an activity together. You can give it a try, use the typography terms for your next design. Hope it will give you some tips to choose the right font. So for example, right now, the next slide, designer tools. There's a lot of designer tools out there. And then since technology has evolved and modernized and it has become nano tech semua tu, dia punya apps pun become nano juga. Everything is apps. So we have paid designer tools such as Adobe software. So normally for graphic design punya software, people use Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop and InDesign. So but this one is paid and then kita kena download pula. And then for this activity today, untuk do Adobe InDesign right now, it's quite a hassle lah. But we have also free, there's also free designer tools in the website right now. We have Canva, Lucid Press and Scribus, but right now Canva is the most famous software. So if you can open your Canva, we can take a look and do a design sekarang ni. And I'll show you where is the kerning and leading in Canva. All right. Anybody want to ask anything or share anything before I turn on my Canva? Okay, tak ada. Ada, tak ada. No, alright. So if you have your Canva, I'll share my Canva. So this is my Canva. I've chosen one Instagram post. So we'll just do an Instagram post. You can find any message or any selling point lah, any copywriting, any body copy that you want to say, any quotes or things that you want to do for your Instagram post. What you learned today, maybe the typography terms, anything. So you can see here I've opened up this Canva punya Instagram post. I think I'm not showing you how to use Canva lah. Just find social media, Instagram post, and you click one, and Canva will give you all this poster template design lah. But it's all dekat sini semua dah sedia ada. Maksudnya I give you this font, I give you this color, you use this color and font lah. But right now with the designer lens, typography lens, for example, I dah dapat dah Canva ni, but tapi Canva kata use this font because it promotes that feeling of apa nature typography and nature people or whatnot kan, but you want that a different kind of mood. So what you can do, you can look into Canva punya text ni. When you click, I know you've seen this before, and then you see letter and letter heights kan. Letter actually is kerning. Canva doesn't teach typography. I'm not sure why, but maybe Canva is is started from a graphic designer, so they want people yang tak faham design to terus faham, so they just put letters lah rather than kerning. And line height is actually the what did I say tadi? I pernah terlupa sekejap. Line height is the ni leading tadi, leading. Sorry, line height is the leading tadi. So you can see here, if it's bad leading, dia punya ni is squished together. And then if it's good leading, but this one is create dynamic lah. It doesn't mean that it's good or bad. The main focus when you design using typography punya terms is readability and legibility. And of course, don't portray, not misleading the message juga lah. And then letter, when you do this, the letter will be squished together just like the logo type that I mentioned to you by Zara tadi. Okay, if I put Zara here, automatically Zara. So that's what Zara did juga lah. They just play with leading and kerning. So okay. And then for the fonts, you can see all these types of font. I know banyak yang crown tu you have to pay kan, but you can see different. Okay, Garamond is a famous font and it's free juga. And then you can see the feeling lah. So once if you what font that you want to choose, start with your emotion dulu. What kind the poster tu you nak buat yang macam mana, Baskerville. So you can see if I click Baskerville kat sini, ada jenis-jenis Baskerville. If it's bold, italic, so dia punya ni lah. So what I want you to do, just design something. If you want to share, I can give you the sharing punya screen lah. If you want to do something. So okay. So that's all from me, from the typography punya terms. But maybe for when you are designing something using your Canva, you can apply this term in your design. All right. Anybody want to ask anything? Want to share anything, or while you're doing your designs?
I nak share something I found, but this is not my design. Tapi I rasa macam it's I think it's pretty cool. was
Yes.
browsing through Canva. Boleh tak I share punya?
Can. Wait, I'll stop sharing because I finished the teaching the session. So how do I give you? Where's Azura? Okay.
I memang ada butang share kat sini. Boleh kot.
Oh, okay. Then share je lah. Kalau you ada butang share, you share.
So maybe you can comment it whether do you think this is a good one, blah blah blah. Okay. Alright. Ni bukan I buat tau, I jumpa. Saya benar nak share. Screen. Okay, alright. So
Okay.
and I think this is pretty maksudnya macam very clear on what you teach us today. Macam dia tunjuk a little ni macam digunakan small font and it's very clean, sans serif font, and dia punya kerning tu pun macam jauh, so dia macam nak cakap perlahan, macam a little, like you know, like small little. Tapi bila dia nak sebut parti ni digunakan what is this?
Like script.
Something like script, decorative font, and make it like macam it's happening, you know, macam
loud macam tu lah.
And then they use the orange color and the yellow color, and that macam that, and then all the design belakang tu pun help to show hey it's a party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, betul. Cool. So
And then I think the kerning between those letter tu pun help to macam kita baca pelan-pelan. Kita pun nak baca a little party. And then bila party tu kita rasa macam
macam tu lah.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so it influence kita punya sense of looking at the visual juga kan? Just like kita mention tadi lah. It portray the message, it sells the idea. Okay, thank you for your sharing. Anybody else want to share anything? Tak ada. Thank you. Thank you, that's okay.